Hello folks, so we're back again with a REEFER 250 for an update, and this is week 5 and a few things have changed since my last update. I've got some fish stock now. It's really hard to decide what I was going to go for fish stock wise on this system, because I wanted a low bio load, but at the same time I wanted a bit of energy in there and lots going on, but a peaceful community of fish as well. So it's quite hard to sort of decide what to go for. It's not a huge tank, so it's quite limited really. But what I did decide to go for is a nice shoal of blue-green chromis, which you can't really go wrong with them. They're a nice peaceful fish. They don't chase or nip anything else. They keep themselves to themselves, and they're just high energy. They're swimming about all the time in the system, and everything's going well. The two clowns, it's definitely got the two clowns out of the corner they're in all the time. They're definitely more inquisitive now, and they're out and about in the tank, which is a plus. The other few fish that I got, I'll try and zoom in. Here he is at the front. Is a algae blenny, and he's doing fine. He's a nice character. It's going to get some algae off that shell of that strawberry conch. So yeah, he's great, really like him. Just hope he feeds well, because there's not a lot of algae in this tank. He does seem to eat the flake food that I put in, so hopefully that'll be okay. The other one is a orange spot goby. He's doing fine. He sort of chills out at the bottom of the substrate. These little holes. Seems to be, I'm hoping he'll pair with the pistol shrimp that I've got in this rock that he's sitting underneath. The pistol shrimp's very small, but I think as it gets bigger it might come down to the sand and they might pair together. But who knows? Hopefully, fingers crossed. The other fish he's just popped up there is my 6-line wrasse. I really like those fish. Lovely colours. And he seems to be doing fine. Just trying to close up there. Darts in and out of the rock. He's quite active as well. So what with the chromis going in, it's definitely added a new dimension to the tank, a bit more activity going on. All my live rock's going good. Coralline is starting to expand. It's not been in there long, so it's definitely going a bit more purple than it already was. And I've noticed at the top on the overflow box, if you can see on the camera, all this spotting on the plastic of coralline everywhere. So something's definitely going right with the water chemistry. The water chemistry is really good, and it is starting to spread, which is a very good sign 5 weeks in. Just hoping it will go into the glass, start spreading to the glass. It should do. Obviously it goes to the plastic first, because it's got it sticks easier to it and can colonise better in the grain of the plastic, but obviously glass is a lot smoother. There's a tiny bit on the edge of the glass there, just starting. But yeah, I'm hoping it will start spotting all over the back of the back wall, which is glass. I say you should do. On your magnet, on the flipper magnet, it's not a really spot, and on the wave machines, on the pumps. Especially this one. This is the one out of a nano, and that was, I cleaned it up to brand new black plastic, and look, it's really encrusting on there again. So yeah, fingers crossed. That's a good start. I did add another coral as well. I had to get this. Wasn't planning on putting any corals in for a while. Just going to let everything settle down, but as I saw it, I thought you don't see it often. I had loads of frags of it at the store, so I had to buy a piece, and it's the pink Hystrix SPS coral, which looks amazing when it grows big. All the polyps around, that's doing well. It's been there a few weeks, and just starting a tiny bit of growth on it as well. So that's and another addition was another cleaner shrimp, one that's half the size of my other one, little baby one, and they get on really well. They're always hanging out together, mainly underneath this rock, this overhang. I think the little one shed its skin last night. Saw a piece of skin floating about somewhere, so yeah, I think he shed his skin. So yeah, these chromis, when they catch the light under these castles, just I don't know if you can see on the camera, but they look amazing. They glisten, they flick from green to blue and fluoresce. Amazing. So really happy with the new additions. Okay, I'll move on quickly because I've got loads of stuff to cover. With loads of questions coming in about the tank. People are thinking about buying one of these Red Sea REEFERs and asking me to do reviews on the equipment I've put on it and stuff. So I'll just be as quick as I can because I haven't got that much time. I'm just going to go down in the sump quickly to show you down in the sump. Everything's going good down there. I've just started to. I've got the pump, the dosing pumps up and running now. Only one line, pump 2, which is my alkalinity. It doses 2 mil of alkalinity on the hour every hour, so it's about 48 mil so a day. So just sort of testing the magnesium and calcium alkalinity quite frequently, just to keep an eye on the levels to see what the system's using. But yeah, it's still going okay. The rest of the equipment's the skimmer. This is 1 day's worth of skim. This cup was cleaned to like new yesterday. So this is 1 day's worth of skim. And you've got a nice, not too much of a wet skim, but just sort of in between the two really. It's about that much a day, which is about right. I'd like to keep it between a dry and a wet really. And this is the sort of foam that's producing. Look at that in 1 day. I think it was definitely doing its job right. It's puffing up there, sort of extreme dry. There's a little bit watery as well, and it sort of puffs over. So I think I've got that just right. The water is crystal clear. So it's obviously doing a very good job of keeping the organics in the water column right down in chromis. So yeah, what else? The carbon reactor's going okay, that's all fine. Just had to polish the water that little bit more. And the phosphate reactor, all going good. So I'll move on to the questions that people have been firing at me. I can't remember the names of people that have posted questions, but I try and cover everything because I presume people are following these videos. Quite a few questions on doing a review on the wave machine and the lighting and the tank. What do I think of the tank? So I'll just move on to that quickly. Red Sea REEFER range. It's a new range of tanks. This is the 250, and I'll start with the actual tank itself. I think it's 10 mil glass or 12 mil glass, I'm not sure, but it's nice thick glass. I think it's 12 mil glass. Yeah, it's 12 mil glass, and it's like opti white, so it's crystal clear, and all the silicon work is really nice black silicon work. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to zoom in on it. It's all really neat, entirely all beveled edges on the top. Camera won't focus properly. Yeah, it looks amazing. This rimless looks ultra sort of clean. So yeah, really built well, and that central overflow box is great. It's got these combs at the top where it overflows, and it surface skims the water. So anything that's on the top of that film, dust, stuff like that on the surface of the water just gets sucked straight down, and it's always, as you can see, really clear of anything. So I've really thought well of designing this system, the way the box pulls all that water through, and inside obviously that's the return pipe, and these two other pipes, the big one is where the water goes down, and you can tune it. I'll show you the valve underneath in a minute. You can tune it so that water level sits just like that, so there's no noise of the downflow of the water going down into the sump. And that one in the middle there is an emergency overflow, so should it go a little bit out of sync, it will just overflow into that. Okay, so I'll take you down into the sump again and show you that valve I was on about, which is there. You just turn that and dial it just right to get the right balance of it overflowing, and it's silent, which is great. The stand, really impressed with the stand. Yeah, they call it epoxy painted, sort of MDF I would imagine, but it's really strong. Nice finish. The doors, you can slam them and they're on soft close like that, and they just on those little spring loading releases like that. So yeah, the sound's all good. So for 800 quid, which is what these Ridge-C REEFER 250s are, I can't quote you on the prices of the other ones in the range, but for £800, that's, I think, good value. And that's where that's probably the cheapest part of the system, because obviously you have to add all the extra equipment to run it as a reef like this, which is nice because you can spec it to exactly what you want. And what lighting wise, what I went for is, as you can see, the Kessel A160 WEs with the gooseneck mounts. And I think they look really good because it's a really minimalistic look on top of the tank. There's nothing heavy over the tank, it's just that nice rimless glass edge, and they really produce an awesome light, these Kessels. It's pretty much unrivaled. You don't get an effect with any other light. The shimmering effect you probably can't see as well on the camera, but in the flesh this tank looks amazing. The shimmer you get all over the rocks and the fish. I'm so glad I went for them. What I will say though, if you do go for any of these Kessel lights, is that you've got to have this, what they call it, the spectral controller, which is basically a computer that controls their colour and their intensity. So you can set it to whatever percent colour intensity you want throughout any part of the day, and it just takes a headache out of them to keep twiddling. So there's manual adjustment on top, but via these two knobs, colour and intensity percentage, and that would be a nightmare to have to keep twiddling them knobs, you know, throughout the whole day. So you've got to have that computer that just does it all for you. You can pre-program in it and just leave it to do its thing, from moonlight to off to throughout the day to bright sunshine. They're just great. So moving on to other bits of equipment. Obviously I put the wave machine for my little Nano in. It's a little Jabo RW4. That's in here, and obviously as you saw there, the MP10. I'll put an MP10 on here as well. I'm hoping it's going to be enough flow, but that I cannot fault as the Jabo RW4 controller. That's been brilliant, that absolutely brilliant, especially for the price, like £65. They give out like 4,000 litres an hour and loads of different wave modes. Moving on to the MP10, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video now and do a part 2, because I'm not sure how long we got on these YouTube videos. I think it's 15 minutes, so I don't want to overrun and then not upload. So I'm going to cut it short there, and I'll be back in part 2. See you then.